Hello guys and welcome back to the channel to another crypto update. So on Sunday we were mentioning that we need to close the weekly candle above the 200 weekly moving average. Unfortunately it did not happen, so I can expect that for the following days and weeks there will be some increased volatility and increased fear in the market. Although we are seeing a slight push to the upside on the daily, we can see that I mentioned that we are due to a pullback to retest the break of the descending channel and the megaphone pattern, which are the blue line and the orange line. Megaphone pattern orange, descending channel blue. So I mentioned that we are due for a pullback, but I wanted and I wished and I hoped that this pullback would be our weekly close. Unfortunately, it is happening later, so we might take in consideration that thing. So, what we can expect? Of course, we can expect to retest this level at around 23k, and if we break it, we have the megaphone pattern as a pullback target resistance at 25k. In confluence with this theory, there is the 1 hourly chart. Let me pull out the 1 hourly chart. So we were trading in this falling broadening wedge, and we broke just right now, about 2 to 3 hours ago. So its technical target would be at the high of this pattern, about 23,700, but we can see that at this green channel around 22.6 till 23.1 there are some resistance and support areas, so it would be a good thing to take this channel in consideration. This channel is also in confluence, of course, with the target of the weekly pullback we are saying right now here at about 23. So the 1 hourly is in confluence with the pullback to the descending channel. If we break it, we're gonna have to retest the megaphone pattern. Now moving on the monthly I've been mentioning that, let me pull out the monthly, that we have some things bullish and bearish. Let me remove everything. That's it. Okay, and the line and the channel. Okay, so previously I mentioned that on the monthly, on the bullish side, we have, let me remove this one, we have this 50 SMA, which has held us for the 3 bear markets we've had in Bitcoin. Two of them, the 15 and the 2019 and 18, had something in confluence with the current values. They were on the RSI at the same value, at around 43. You can see those circles signaling our bottom, and we were on the values of 43, which we are currently slightly below it. But if this monthly candle closes above the 50 SMA, which means we would be supported by the 50 SMA and having the same values that history suggested that this was the bottom. But now moving on a more bearish side, let me pull out the other things. So the circles, we remove them, the SMA we remove it, and the monthly we remove it. We can notice that we've been trending, and I've mentioned this before, we've been trending for the monthly chart quite nicely in this channel until we failed to make another high, which should, let me correct that, we did another high, but we failed to touch the upper trend line like these 2 times. So that was already signaling a shift in momentum. To make even things worse, this monthly candle in 9 days, 16 hours is going to close, and it's probably going to close for the first time in history below this channel. So that is already suggesting a further shift in momentum. If we break this channel, we would have broken all the market structure we've had, and we would need to revalue everything. Also, suggesting this theory, we have the logarithmic growth curves that, as you can see, for the past 11 years of Bitcoin was holding as top resistance and bottom support here. We had a close below the log curves at March 2020, but the next month we eventually closed above. This time we closed already in May below the curves, the lower curve, okay, and this month we opened and we are currently still going down, so this could be a continuation of the break. So that is something else to in confluence with the monthly channel. So what is my worst case scenario? As I mentioned about 2 to 3 days ago, my worst case scenario for Bitcoin is this here and here. Okay, so that's it. So if we notice that we had this ascending triangle that was perfectly respected here as a resistance on the December 13, as support February 19 and January 19, and also it wigged on March 2020 crash. So this is a respected trend line. Also we have its resistance as a top close, okay, close not high, the December 17, and its high on June 19. So we can notice that we were in this ascending triangle, and we perfectly reached its target once we broke. Okay, you can see that the target was about 72 and we reached about 69. So we reached the target for that ascending triangle. After that, as everybody knows, we make a double top with bearish divergence on the RSI, which signaled a shift also in momentum. So my worst case scenario for me would be to retest this trend line, which I think we will eventually after the pullback to 25k. I think that we will reach the value of 13 to 14k to retest this trend line. So after retesting this trend line, I am no longer expecting a bull run. I am expecting sideways action. If this monthly closes below this channel, and if we reach these values of 14k, I don't think Bitcoin is going to enter again, at least for the coming months, in this channel. What I think it will happen, we will have some sideways action that could be around here. So we all know how consolidation works, but for the newcomers and newbies, I think that we'll have some consolidation between this 14 or maybe 20 and the 60 or 65k area until we eventually break, retest that support, and then we could maybe push to the upside. I don't think that from here we're gonna just push back to the channel and reach the 100k that everyone was talking about last year and even before we had this massive push to the downside. So that's it for me, guys. On the 1 hourly, the broadening wedge and the worst case scenario of this ascending triangle pullback to the 14k. After that, consolidation for the monthly, and then hopefully we'll see, but Bitcoin will always be scarce, so eventually the price will go up. So keep dollar cost averaging your position, and happy trading. See you tomorrow.